Hey guys, tonight we embark on a soothing and fascinating journey through Israel, a land where you're as likely to stumble upon a state-of-the-art tech startup as an ancient ruin whispering secrets of the past. Imagine walking under the blazing sun, surrounded by a symphony of bustling streets where time seems to dance between past and present. You're probably thinking, this sounds overwhelming, you probably won't survive this. But fear not, because here bedtime stories are meant to be relaxing rather than daring feats of endurance. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Why not share your location and local time in the comments? It's always fun to see where everyone is tuning in from. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're walking through the bustling streets of Tel Aviv, where the air is filled with the scent of the sea, mingling with fresh falafels, being crisped to perfection in tiny kiosks. The city's rhythm is palpable, a harmonious blend of modernity and tradition. As your feet carry you, guided by the gentle breeze from the Mediterranean, the tall, sleek skyscrapers stand not too far from Bauhaus-style buildings washed in white. This architectural dance remains as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, holding stories from the 1930s, when the Bauhaus movement found a new home here among the sands of Israel. Historians continually debate whether Tel Aviv's Bauhaus district could be considered one of the best preserved collections of modernist architecture in the world. But as your eyes take in the streamlined curves and simplistic elegance, it feels like stepping into a time capsule, whispering tales of the past. You find yourself enveloped by the city's tech prowess and vibrant art scene, while still feeling tethered to its historical roots. Locals here often joke that Wi-Fi speeds may crash occasionally, but history and culture flow seamlessly, connecting every street and alleyway. As the sun begins its descent, you make your way toward Jaffa, the ancient port city that predates Tel Aviv by thousands of years. The cobblestone streets call to mind images of seafaring traders and exotic routes. Imagine as if you can almost hear the echoes of their lively bartering in the bustling market spaces. Did you know that Jaffa is mentioned in Greek mythology as the place where Perseus saved Andromeda from the sea monster? It's a place layered with myth and reality, where fact and fiction blur under the twilight sky. The Jaffa lighthouse once stood tall against the elements, guiding countless vessels to safety. Though no longer standing, its legacy lives on through stories shared under the stars. Even within the academic community, there are debates over the precise origins of the city's earliest settlement. Now picture yourself sipping a cool drink as the vibrant hues of the sunset paint the horizon. In the near distance, the Mediterranean hums a lullaby, lulling the city into a gentle evening repose. For now, let the gentle waves of time carry your thoughts into serene dreams, and feel the comforting whispers of a land where the past and present blend seamlessly into one. In a land where ancient history meets modern life, you find yourself wandering through the vibrant tapestry that is Israel's social fabric. As you step gently into this world, the air is filled with whispers of stories told and untold, each winding its way through time. Here, every face you see carries an echo of the past, a hint of journeys taken from far and near. Your path begins amid the bustling streets, where the echoes of footsteps tell tales of diverse origins. In this small yet richly woven country, Jews from Asia, Europe, and Africa add their voices to the symphony of life. Walking alongside you are those who carry the legacy of great Sephardic traders of the Middle Ages, who once traversed the Silk Road, their descendants now blending their unique traditions with the vibrancy of modern Israel. Historians still debate whether it was the spice trade or migration that initially carved these cultural roots, but as you stroll through the markets sampling cinnamon-scented pastries and vibrant fabrics, you feel the blending of worlds past and present. There's something almost magical about the way these diverse threads have woven themselves together over centuries, forming a living cloth that speaks of both unity and individuality. Every corner of this land you've encountered reveals a new layer of cultural distinction and historical complexity. You pass by a cafe where discussions are heated yet friendly, where groups of friends from various backgrounds meet daily, keeping alive languages like Hebrew, Yiddish, Russian, Amharic, and Arabic. Each language represents a tapestry thread telling its own tale and adding depth and texture to the social landscape. Moving on, you meet the descendants of European Jewry, whose stories are entwined with tales of resilience and rebirth. They carry within them the experiences of the Pale of Settlement in Russia and the shtetls of Poland, transformed through the painful chapters of the Holocaust and given new life here amidst this Mediterranean sun. It's said that some towns in Israel have perfected life based on centuries-old plans drawn in distant lands, their orderly layouts a homage to the European cities once called home. An unusual detail captures your attention: rumors of hidden recipes, such as a legendary stew that supposedly can only be cooked with water from Jerusalem's wells. This culinary mystery, often dismissed by skeptics, becomes a whimsical reminder of how myths and realities intermingle in these lands. In another breath, you find yourself among communities of Ethiopian Jews, vibrant and deeply connected to their roots. Their arrival to Israel, filled with peril and promise, is a tale of biblical proportions. Brave journeys through deserts, driven by ancient prophecies, have brought them to this place they call home. Here, the richness of Beta Israel's ancient heritage makes its presence known through colorful mescal celebrations, with roses and bonfires lighting the night, just as they have done for centuries. Curiosity piques as you remember hearing that scholars still debate how these Ethiopian Jews maintained their unique customs isolated for generations. This enigma endures in academic circles, much like the ever-beating heart of their community in the Israeli mosaic. As your journey continues, you are greeted by the warmth of the Arab community, their history in this region stretching back millennia. Here, friendships flourish across borders, rich traditions helping to bridge gaps and turn differences into dialogues. You experience their hospitality firsthand as cups of strong aromatic coffee and plates of steaming hummus arrive at tables not as mere offerings, but as an invitation into their world. And among them, captivating your curiosity, are the Druze, a small yet significant minority who walk the tightrope between tradition and modernity with surprising ease. The Druze way of life remains a closely guarded mystery to outsiders, their sacred texts hidden from all but the initiated. Yet their community radiates an energy of peace and stability, perhaps one of the most astonishing secrets of their resilience. Traveling deeper into the heart of the land, you meet the Bedouins, masters of the desert, their lifeways guided by the stars and sands. With tents that open to welcome weary travelers like yourself, you find yourself entranced by their stories of ancient migrations and enduring traditions. The Bedouins possess a unique knack for improvisation, adapting seamlessly between their nomadic roots and the dynamic world around them. In the cozy glow of their evening fires, you learn that while historians still debate the precise origins of some Bedouin customs, the community's ability to sustain their identity through centuries of change is admired and celebrated widely. Amid such diversity, there lies an innate coexistence, an ability to navigate not just physical spaces, but cultural landscapes too. As you delve further, you're reminded of the legendary mountain Mount Carmel, where mystics speak of peace as eternal as its ancient olive trees. Such are the pursuits and ponderings in a land where every stitch in the social fabric tells its part in a much larger narrative. And so with each gentle step you take, you come closer to understanding what it means to be part of this mosaic, a composition of sounds, sights, and sensations. As the night deepens, you find yourself weaving through streets that constantly whisper and hum with the heartbeats of history. As this story lulls you towards rest the threads of coexistence and cultural uniqueness weave their way into your dreams, urging you to continue imagining the living fabric of this ancient land. In this serene tranquility, allow yourself to be enveloped by the gentle rhythms of a story that speaks to the enduring journey of a people united in their diversity. As if rocked by the cradle of history itself, drift into a peaceful slumber, embracing all that these whispered tales have revealed tonight. You walk through the bustling streets of ancient Jerusalem, where life buzzes with energy. The sun casts warm rays that light up the vivid tapestries, market the scents of spices swirling in the air. You can almost feel the texture of the woven baskets overflowing with dates and figs. It's a city where history pulses beneath your feet, mingling with the chatter of people around you. The vibrancy of this place is undeniable, but amidst all this color and clamor, there exists a profound appreciation for something less tangible, hygiene and spiritual purity. As you wander, you notice a group gathering outside a modest stone building. Curiosity piqued you join them, and it's not long before you understand the significance of the ritual unfolding before your eyes. Each participant dips their hands into a stone basin filled with cool water, a cleansing ceremony and everyday practice that dates back to ancient times. This is Netalat Yadayim, the ritual hand-washing that marks a moment of transition from the physical to the spiritual, a ritual still practiced today before meals. The concept of cleanliness in Jewish life is more than just skin deep. It's a spiritual endeavor rooted in laws and traditions detailed in the Torah. Historians find themselves captivated by the meticulous guidelines laid down for personal hygiene. For instance, mikvah's ritual baths aren't just an aside. They symbolize spiritual rebirth and purification, essential for certain phases of life and annual rituals. You step back to enjoy a shaded corner, leaning against a wall built from stones that have absorbed stories through millennia. As you watch the ritual, someone steps next to you, a friendly local, eager to share more about this world. Did you know they begin? The mikvah isn't just a bath. Its construction was based on exacting standards historically. Some argue it had to be filled by rainwater to truly be effective. You smile, intrigued, allowing yourself to get lost in the quiet fascination of such nuanced traditions. Unlike the rituals you've heard about in other ancient cultures, where the importance of cleanliness could be about simple living standards, here it seems to be an art form rooted in the sacred. And yet, the local continues with a chuckle. Scholars still debate whether the ancient Israelites had broader hygienic practices beyond these religious rituals, or if they were surprisingly like any other people from their time, just more secretive about their methods. As the participants finish up, shaking their hands free of the remaining droplets, you think about how these small acts link each person to countless generations before them. It's one way they stay connected, honoring those who came before them and imparting their values to those yet to come. The continuity in these practices speaks volumes about the resilience and unity of a community that has always placed immense value on ritual and purity. You carry on your journey down narrow paths that twist and turn unpredictably. In the heart of the city lies the grand temple, where every stone seems to murmur an ancient tune. It's here you remember how much life revolved around these sacred sites and the purity required to step foot inside this holy precinct. Of course, you probably wouldn't survive this level of rigorous purification today. It's a bit more involved than splashing around a bar of soap. Each law, each ritual is a thread in the rich tapestry of life in ancient Israel, weaving together the mundane and the divine. The rhythms of life continue on the city streets, with children playing and merchants haggling prices. Yet even as the world around you spins with activity, you're reminded of how these rituals act as anchors, halting time, urging reflection. You take a deep breath, letting the warmth of the day seep into your skin, your thoughts swirling around the practices that typify this historical crossroad. How these seemingly simple acts are laden with the weight of spiritual significance and historical importance. And as the sun begins to dip below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of gold and fuchsia, you're filled with a sense of calm, knowing that these narratives and traditions provide an enduring connection to the past, offering insight and peace in a world that often spins a bit too fast. With a gentle breeze touching your cheek, you walk back towards the comforting din of the marketplace, the sound, a soft hum now as night settles in. In this ancient land, every step, every uttered prayer, and every ritual performed echoes through time, a seamless blend of personal hygiene and spiritual discipline woven into the fabric of daily life. The world quiets down and you find solace, knowing these ancient practices continue to offer a bridge between centuries and souls, uniting both past and present in a delicate dance of tradition and faith. As you sit quietly in the cool, crisp air of the early morning, the sounds around you are gentle but defined crickets, slowly giving way to the rustling of branches stirred by a soft breeze. You find yourself waking up in the calm embrace of the dawn, the warmth of your blanket like a reminder of familiar comforts. But today is not like most days. Today, you slip out of bed with the awareness of your uniform, patiently waiting for you pressed and ready, a silent testament to the responsibility you hold. You begin your day as an Israeli soldier, part of a tradition woven deep into the fabric of your country. Each movement, each small preparatory task embodies a connection shared by others who have walked this path before. This is compulsory military service, yet within it you feel a reverberating sense of pride, a kind of national pride that beats rhythmically in the heart, shaping your identity in profound ways. There was a time in history's tapestry when David Ben-Gurion, Israel's first prime minister, declared, "The army protects our very existence." This notion now rests comfortably within you, a known truth that guides your every action. The uniform you wear is more than fabric and buttons. It symbolizes a collective strength developed through shared duty and enriched by diverse backgrounds unifying under a common cause. As you step into the communal barracks, you embrace the vibrant camaraderie, a term bursting with layers. Here, the languages may vary, Hebrew, Russian, Amharic, but the shared laughter, the unspoken bonds wrap around you like an unexpected comfort. Historians still debate whether these melting contexts create long-lasting societal changes after service. But within this moment, you feel the undeniable fabric of community being woven tighter. Throughout the day, drills and exercises unfold with the precision and rhythm of a well-choreographed symphony. The sun climbs, reaching its peak as your muscles work tirelessly, adapting to the rigorous demands placed upon them. Each task completed isn't just a tick off a checklist. It's a brush stroke adding depth to your understanding of discipline, teamwork, and grit. The days are tiring, yet they reveal surprising reserves of strength within you that you never knew you had. Little did you know, back in 1959, when the IDF began drafting females, it marked a turning point in its history, creating a unique dynamic that continues to this day. You've heard stories of how these early drafts prepared so many women for leadership roles in broader Israeli society, an evolution still graciously unfolding. After all, the path carved out is not just a stepping stone for the future, it's an exploration that urges you to challenge societal norms with resolve and resilience. As evening edges in, you're treated to a serene tableau. The setting sun paints the sky in shades of orange and pink, a silent promise that the day is drawing to a sweet close. You've come to savor these moments of reflection, peeling away the layers of experiences as you catch glimpses of your evolving self. There's a shared acknowledgement among your comrades that these are the stories you'll tell someday, each day a carefully woven narrative adding to a collective legacy. The idea of duty intermingles with pride, much like threads in an intricate tapestry, shaping an identity larger than life itself. You find beauty in the gentle exhaustion that tugs at you, grounding you in this journey you're part of. Historians will determine the significance of this service and its weight on the national identity. But as you close your eyes tonight, there's comfort in knowing you've contributed to something greater than self-embracing the role you've carved out. A protector, a citizen, a story unfolding bit by bit. The soft murmur of crickets returns as you drift into slumber, knowing tomorrow promises further adventures, wisdom and self-discovery in the tapestry of life. Sleep envelops you now, a gentle visitor, guiding you through dreams stitched with purpose and pride. The gentle rustle of the leaves harmonizes with the distant chirping of crickets as you walk into the dimly lit gathering area of the kibbutz. The air carries a faint aroma of earth and evening dew, wrapping you in a sense of serenity. In the world of agriculture and intentional communities, kibbutzim occupy a unique place, much like islands of shared hopes and communal survival, smack in the middle of an increasingly complex world. As you journey into the heart of one such kibbutz, you feel the essence of the land grafted into the spirit of its inhabitants. Early in the first light of dawn, a bell rings through the sleeping quarters, waking each member to the crisp start of a new day. The collective rises as one almost like the rhythmic tempo of a well-rehearsed dance. Despite the undeniable bonds building, such a community wasn't just strolling through sunflower fields. Pouring sweat and resolve into the rocky soil knit the group tighter than a hand-woven tapestry. Historians still debate whether the kibbutzim could truly be considered the birthplace of modern cooperative living, yet there's no denying the innovative spirit born here. You sense it in every corner, each smiling child running through dry fields, each elder deep in discussion under the worn shade of their eucalyptus trees. Your attention is suddenly captured by a lively conversation at the breakfast table. There's Ilana, a spirited grandmother whose stories draw every ear close. Ilana narrates one of her earliest memories on the kibbutz, the endless struggle to coax crops from the stubborn soil. The early settlers faced rocky fields that barely yielded enough for subsistence, but persistence became their currency and hope their guide. We laughed a lot, she recalls with a glint in her eyes, because crying too much would have dehydrated us. As Ilana's tale winds down, you notice a gleam of mischievousness in her eyes. She speaks of a surprising event many years ago, when an unexpected gift shattered their accustomed routines. A pair of Angora goats arrived from a mix-up perhaps intended for someone down the road. Never ones to let opportunity slip by, the kibbutz members decided to raise these goats, discovering to their amusement that they were not only good for milk, but could be hair-combed for luxury fibers. Sometimes success is as much about happy accidents as it is hard work. You continue to wander, absorbing every little snippet of kibbutz life along your path. In the workspaces, men and women toil side by side in the fields, planting seeds that will later become grains to share with the entire community. Shields of sunlight reflect off their faces, showing signs of a lifetime under the open sky. Above the sweat lies an unwavering belief in their joint purpose, a notion that spills from their long communal meetings and into the soil they tend. Yet adaptation has its own pace. The kibbutz had to evolve as ancient traditions nudged against the edges of modernity. Some kibbutzim shifted from purely agricultural endeavors to more industrial ones, establishing factories and focusing on technological innovations. You overhear several members discuss how half the kibbutz now delves into cutting-edge solar panels, production behind their workshed, a far cry from what their grandparents set out to achieve. The kibbutz children you learn grow up in a vibrant collective nursery school, running wildly amidst olive trees and citrus groves. Unlike the structured environment you'll find in usual kindergartens here, the spirit of exploration and communal upbringing shapes young minds. Laughter echoes as they engage in age-old games, only occasionally interrupted by discussions on inventing their versions of solar tree houses. The adults perform their tasks with hands settled into decades of experience, exchanging stories, laughter, and sometimes disagreements, polished by time. Each product is another tile in the mosaic of their shared lives, where the individual is just as crucial as the whole ensemble. It's a testament to their resilience that in moments of disagreement or stress, they find a way to sustain their collective vision. Community gatherings turn into celebrations for crafted milestones, small victories acknowledged with gratitude and music under starlit skies. The storytelling, the dances, the shared meals invoke a deeper connection to an ancestral past, bridges between what they aspire to create and where they've come from. Embedded within this weave is the golden weave of their existence, a choice to persist, adapt, and live as one. As the day concludes and the warm hues of the sunset blanket the landscape, you feel the pulse of the kibbutz gently slowing down. Birds flying home sketch vivid strokes across the pink-hued sky. The story of the kibbutz is not just a recounting of hardships and triumphs, but a lullaby of resilience, reminding you that in unity lies unmatched strength. A choice you experience a new way of living and thriving, determined not by lands or borders, but by heart and collective will. The hum of cicadas fills the warm air as you find yourself standing on a dusty training ground, surrounded by the buzz of young recruits snapping to attention. The soft glow of the setting sun casts long shadows over the bustling scene. You watch as a seasoned instructor barks orders with a mixture of authority and camaraderie. The language and intricate dance of Hebrew commands and responses that you can almost understand. The training is rigorous, a tapestry woven from years of tradition and modern technique. Each exercise is more than a test of physical endurance. It's a shared ritual that binds these young men and women. It's said that such discipline can forge bonds stronger than steel, a unity seasoned with sweat and determination Tonight, you're a silent observer of this unique rite of passage, one that transforms teenagers into soldiers ready to defend their homeland. Nearly every Israeli citizen at age 18 steps into this demanding chapter of their life. Military service isn't merely a duty. It's woven into the fabric of society, fostering a collective spirit more potent than any speech. There's something hypnotic about the rhythmic cadence of training drills, the unison steps echoing a heartbeat of resolve. You marvel at their synchronization, a stark contrast to your own stumbling attempts when confronted with a well-timed challenge. You probably won't survive this, or that's what you might think, watching their synchronized perfection. Yet every stumble is met with laughter and encouragement, reinforcing that it's not just the rigor, but the shared experiences that matter most. Historians still debate whether the intensity of this preparation is a relic of ancient defenses or a response to modern threats. What is clear, however, is its role in forging a deeper sense of responsibility and maturity among these young individuals, lessons learned under the gentle yet firm karate sun. Amongst the various exercises, there's one peculiar detail that catches your eye. A group of recruits is engaged in a teamwork challenge of untangling themselves from a human knot, a puzzle requiring communication and trust, perhaps more challenging than any obstacle course. This unusual exercise underscores an essential truth. The strength of an army lies not merely in numbers or weaponry, but in the unity and trust of those who serve. You pause to consider the significance of national service in this land, where the borders are more than mere lines on a map. They're stories of survival, a testament to the resilience of a people bound by common history and common dreams. This unity is etched into the national consciousness, a tradition as unwavering as the longest day. One recruit stands quietly at the fringes, gazing out toward the horizon, where the first stars begin to appear. You sense a quiet contemplation there, a blending of duty and reflection. They all come from diverse backgrounds, yet each bears the collective hopes and burdens of the society they serve. The atmosphere softens with the fading light exercises, winding down into a gentle camaraderie. Laughter mingles with the cooling night air, and the stories begin to flow. Anecdotes of training mishaps, tales of family histories and dreams for the future are shared around the glow of a makeshift campfire. These are the moments that transform obligation into belonging, etching memories, as enduring as the stone paths, worn smooth by generations of feet. As the night deepens and the world around you drifts towards slumber, you feel a gentle lull in the air like ripples on a calm lake. You might not be one of them, but the warmth of their stories wraps around you, a soft blanket of connection and understanding. Each star blinking in the sky above tells its own story, much like these young soldiers will someday recount their service and its impact on their lives. A breeze rustles through the trees, and there's a particular peace in knowing that despite all challenges, these young hearts march forward, holding stead with a united purpose. The intensity of their training shapes not only their bodies, but also their minds and spirits, instilling a responsibility that transcends the immediate forging connections that will last a lifetime. In the stillness, You find solace knowing that these shared experiences resonate beyond the setting sun, fostering unity and resilience in ways you hadn't quite imagined. So, under the vast starry dome of the night sky, you close your eyes, letting the echoes of lived history and newfound wisdom cradle you into a gentle, restful slumber. The warm glow of the setting sun bathes the room in its soft light as you settle into the comforting embrace of your favorite chair. You find yourself drawn into a world where the lines between past and present blur, where stories of old resonate with the pulsating rhythm of your own heart. In this particular evening's narrative, you walk through the sun-dappled streets of a quaint village nestled on the edge of a timeless landscape. Children, their laughter echoing like a melody carried by the wind, gather in clusters around venerable teachers whose wisdom seeps into every word they speak. You observe closely as they recount tales not unlike the ones that have enchanted listeners for centuries. This educational approach is steeped in a tradition that dances perhaps paradoxically with innovation. You see, knowledge here isn't just a destination. It's an ever-evolving journey. It thrives on curiosity, each question a stepping stone to countless others. There are whispers and humorous asides about if this system is too rigid, or if the spontaneity of youth might be better left unbridled. Yet the balance, like a tightrope walk, seems to hold feeding minds that grow just as the cherry blossoms flourish with the dawn of spring. The children, with their bright eyes fixed on the mentors, are learning not just the what, but the how and why. They read of distant lands and historic empires, of the great machines of Da Vinci, and the modest and yet revolutionary artistry of Ada Lovelace's first algorithms. You can almost feel the quiet hum of cognitive gears turning ideas, sparking like the fireflies that soon will fill the twilight sky. And as if knowing your thoughts, a seasoned instructor discusses the very essence of identity in a vast connected world. You see, they say with a wise grin, as we grasp the reins of new horizons, it's vital to remember where we started. You watch as the students solemnly assimilate this insight, a gentle reminder that even amid globalization's embrace, one's roots are not to be left untended. There's an engaging tale of a time when local documents were unknowingly encrypted with figurative chains, binding knowledge to the select few who stumbled upon the keys of understanding. It's a story that serves as a cherished guardian of their collective identity. When you hear about it, you're a bit taken aback by how young scholars now tackle these topics, dissecting them with a critical eye. A reminder that education, like life, is a tapestry forever being woven anew. In the midst of this learning, a historical fact is shared, one about the gatherings at ancient Alexandria, where scholars from around the Mediterranean would convene to exchange ideas and challenge each other's perceptions, enriching their minds in a crucible of culture and contemplation. Historians are still puzzled whether fire or feuding led to the eventual decline of this fabled center. But here, it serves as a beacon, lighting the path for today's academic explorers. Suspended in this captivating intersection of history and potential, you get a flash, a vivid image of a student stepping confidently into a room, their expression one of serene assurance, carrying with them the lessons of the past, the vigor of the present, and the promise of the future. Their preservation of identity amidst this evolved landscape feels as natural as breathing, as intuitive as the gentle sway of trees in the night's breeze. In this space and time, you truly grasp the importance of nurturing both mind and heart. The laughter of the village square diminishes as the day's study comes to a gentle end. A new chapter in their personal stories is being written line by line. You too have taken this journey. The day's narrative, a subtle instruction in both history and heart, winds down now, inviting a deeper reflection. Behind your closed eyes, you see the intricate ballet of learning and identity continuing to unfold. Embracing the quiet whispers of night, you feel the narrative sailing smoothly from page to reality, lessening with the day's dying light. As you lie back, the stories you have lived draw a delicate curtain over your waking thoughts, inviting you to a tranquil respite into the arms of slumber. The vibrations of this nighttime voyage resonate softly, like the final fading notes of a lullaby, guiding you into restful peace, cementing the learning of the day into a foundation for tomorrow's dreams. You stand quietly in a grand hall, dressed in a uniform that still feels foreign and a little stiff. You've arrived here amidst a group of strangers who, just like you, have answered a call that echoes through time, a call to serve your nation. The air around you is thick with anticipation. It carries the weight of history and ceremony. Each whispered conversation and nervous chuckle seems to reverberate off the high ceilings, mingling with the rustle of fabric as everyone finds their place. As you look around, your eyes catch glimpses of flags, their colors rich and bold, silently watching over the proceedings. It's odd to think that the seemingly mundane act of placing one hand on a raised piece of text and repeating after an official could carry so much significance. And yet here you are, ready to speak words that millions before you have uttered. Words that have marked transition duty and an unwritten promise to uphold something bigger than oneself. The person next to you nudges you gently, and reality pulls into sharper focus. The ceremonial start is announced, and a hush spreads over the room. A few rows ahead, you spot a young man tapping his foot, perhaps unaware, perhaps trying to dispel nerves. In that moment, you're reminded of a curious tidbit you read somewhere about soldiers from ancient China who would braid their hair with a coin when going to battle. It was both a charm and a promise to return with the same fortune or in better standing. It's funny how across centuries and continents, humans cling to small rituals when facing the enormity of change. The oath begins, sentences scattered with words of allegiance and honor. In this moment, the historical weight of oaths starts to dawn on you. You reflect on how some historians argue that the Spartan warrior's pledge, which supposedly began at birth, influenced oaths across Europe, strengthening the moral and social fabric of military conduct. It's fascinating yet unknown whether this ancient dedication directly shaped the sense of duty we feel today, but you sense a kinship with those distant figures who stood where you stand now. As the final line of the oath is spoken, a quiet sense of pride slowly replaces your nervousness. You're now more than the sum of your prior choices, more than the winding road that led you here. You're voluntarily stepping into a history shared by all those you now call comrades. With the ceremony over, everyone begins to disperse, conversations starting anew, this time tinged with a hint of relief and shared experience. You feel a tap on your shoulder, and turning you find someone with a kind smile, introducing themselves, eager to chat about this shared beginning. It's a simple gesture, but one that echoes the bonds cemented through history, alongside recitations like the one you've just given. As you're drawn into the conversation, the topic shifts to tales of historical significance. Someone mentions the curious case of Roman soldiers swearing their oaths upon the standards of their legions, these emblems treated almost as sacred relics. It's said that these devout symbols bore the weight of not just honor, but the very essence of Rome itself. You can't help but wonder how similar this all feels, much like standing shoulder to shoulder beneath these unwavering flags. You learn that there were times when battalions would walk onto fields of combat, spurred by the memory of their induction and oath, each word serving as a guiding light amidst the chaos. It's a stark contrast to the modern process, devoid of battlefield footsteps, yet rich in silent ceremonies that still hold the same power to unify and embolden. Before long, the promise of food calls you and your new companions towards the dining hall. As you sit down with your tray, a plate almost too large with portions that seem designed to feed a giant, you marvel at these acts of uniformity from induction to meals. You engage in light-hearted banter over mashed potatoes and oddly shaped carrots. There is laughter, just like that mentioned in a forgotten diary of a soldier from World War I, recounting how gasps of air from a hearty laugh could momentarily batter away the pall of gloom during trench hours. You think with a little sarcasm, if only all battles could be fought over shared meals. The room hums with an underlying energy. Now it's less tense, a bit more buoyant. An orchestra of clinking cutlery and cheery chatter. You think how odd it is that such humble origins, the first few friends you make today, might be the very ones to share tales over campfires, wading through countless sunrises and sunsets. Recognizing that these moments forge the path to upholding democratic values, you're reminded of the vital role national service plays in cementing bonds within communities that stretch beyond the military. Civic integrity seems less an abstract concept and more a collective duty to nurture with every action. In this space, different backgrounds blend into a single tapestry of intent reinforcing freedoms you may have once taken for granted. Your mind drifts to the ancient Greek forums, where philosophers would engage in debates seen by some as the foundational stones of democracy. You chuckle inwardly at the thought that perhaps, over centuries, what began as such intense discussion now occasionally manifests as pointed eyebrow judges over a card game. As the evening draws to a close, you gaze out the window into the dimming sky. The day's significance lingers in your thoughts, propelled by a comforting warmth in your chest. You reflect on how the notion of pledging allegiance has evolved from merely an oath to a personal pledge towards singular speed, to protect and build upon collective beliefs. The atmosphere of the room softens as you settle into a cozy reverie. The murmur of conversations fades, gently replaced by the soft, comforting rhythm of people preparing to retire for the night. You realize that despite the passage of countless generations and evolving rituals, the core of civic integrity and service remains anchored by values shared across time and culture. You embrace the night with a quiet sense of satisfaction, allowing yourself to unwind slowly. Your eyelids grow heavy as you appreciate the comforting weight of history that you're now a part of. Letting go of any lingering tension, you step into the night, soothed by the gentle lull of camaraderie and the notion that you've placed another stone on the pathway paved with civic promises, walking hand in hand with fellow stewards of peace. Drifting into slumber, you picture yourself walking amongst shadows of past guardians, and know that your own journey, like theirs, is woven into the unending tapestry of time, where every thread intertwines, yet remains unique. And as sleep finally folds over you, your heart keeps the silent oath anew, promising to greet the dawn with courage, to serve with honor, and to rest well, knowing your place in this shared legacy. And so you drift. As you walk through the ancient streets of Jerusalem, the night sky blankets the city with a calming dark blue hue. The air is crisp, carrying faint whispers of stories past, woven seamlessly into the very stones beneath your feet. With each step, you feel the pull of history. It's as if the past is a warm, familiar quilt gently wrapped around your shoulders. You pass by the dimly lit alleyways, where the golden glow of warm light spills from the windows, casting intricate shadows that tell tales of their own. In this serene setting, your thoughts drift to the notion of honor, a concept so deeply embedded in the fabric of Israeli society. You find yourself pondering how personal image, patriotism, and communal responsibility all connect like threads in a tapestry. It's an exploration that seems as vast as the desert, yet deeply intimate. Imagine a moment from thousands of years ago when King David himself walked not far from where you stand now. Renowned for his courage and leadership, David's story is often linked with the idea of honor. Yet historians still debate whether David's actions were always in line with the notions of honor we hold today. Was it his slaying of Goliath that cemented his image, or was it his deep melodic hymns that resonated far beyond his time? As you continue down the street, you notice the scent of freshly baked breads mingling with the aroma of spices. It's comforting, like nostalgia, made palpable. You remember the tale of Judith, a story filled with an unexpected twist. A heroine who by guile rather than by might saved her people. Her actions might seem audacious today, but they highlight how honor can also rise from cunning, and how sometimes survival itself becomes the greatest honor of all. Your path takes you to a courtyard where elaborate mosaics depict stories of bravery and sacrifice, scenes of ancient battles and wise leaders. There's a particular mosaic that catches your eye, a depiction of a small village community united in purpose. This brings to mind the value Israelis historically place on shared responsibility, a sense of duty not just to oneself, but to the community as a whole, creating ripples of honor that echo through time. While these images dance in your memory, a gentle breeze nudges you forward. The idea of honor grows more nuanced, layering upon itself like the soft felt of a winter coat. You think of how modern Israel continues to grapple with its own version of honor, where national service is not just an obligation but a rite of passage. It weaves personal identity into the larger fabric of national pride. Your thoughts are momentarily interrupted by the sound of laughter from a nearby cafe, as a group of friends share stories and exchange playful jabs. This light-hearted scene unfolds alongside the weighty tales you've been considering, offering a reminder that even in serious discussions, there is room for warmth and camaraderie. Interestingly, one of the friends just moments ago recounted a surreal adventure where he tried to claim he had fought with King David in a past life, a story that earned him a chorus of good-natured teasing. Is it the personal image that holds precedence, or does communal honor take the lead? You realize, like many before you, the answer is as elusive as the end of a rainbow. Each person's understanding of honor seems to see the world through a different lens, colored by personal beliefs and experiences. As you sit on a nearby bench, resting your thoughts, you recognize the rhythmic hum of a distant song, perhaps a lullaby, murmured softly to a child falling asleep. The familiar notes seem to cradle you gently, and you realize that just like honor music has a way of connecting the past with the present, individual stories with collective ones. In this moment of reflection, you understand that honor in Israeli society is not just about accolades or public image. It is deeply woven into the day-to-day, the small acts of kindness, the traditions upheld, the stories retold across generations. And though historians might still debate which narratives of honor are most significant, one fact remains clear. Those who walk these ancient streets like you continue to add their own chapters to this ever-unfolding story. And thus, as the moon shines brighter, casting a silvery glow over the city, you feel a sense of peace enveloping you. The tales of honor blend with the night, soothing any restless musings. Now let's ease into rest your thoughts, a gentle river flowing towards dreams and the promise of a new dawn. As you stand at the edge of the training field, a cool breath of wind slips past you, whispering the stories of countless others who have walked this path. Overhead, the sky begins to blush with the first hints of dawn, painting a backdrop for the day about to unfurl. You're about to engage in the rituals that prepare one for military service. A journey both physical and mental, accentuated by an ancient rhythm that threads through history. The air is crisp and invigorating with the earthy scent of dew-kissed grass underfoot. As you breathe in, you can almost taste the quiet determination that surrounds you. Today, you will start with meditation, a practice embraced by warriors through the ages, from samurais in Japan to the Spartans of ancient Greece. They knew what you are about to experience, that true strength begins in the mind. Settling down beneath an enormous old tree, an ancient guardian watching over this field, you close your eyes. The world around you fades, but doesn't vanish. Its presence is gentle and soothing. You listen to the rhythmic beat of your heart, like drumbeats echoing through a forgotten time. Historians might argue whether meditation truly originated from the Far East, or its practices coincided in various forms across different cultures, but its efficacy has never been in doubt. In your meditative state, images of your country's storied past drift through your consciousness. You see great figures like George Washington standing resolute by the Delaware River, his steely determination as crucial as the soldiers by his side in the fight for independence. Did you know that Washington insisted on meditative reflection in his letters as a means to instill discipline and focus? A surprising fact, perhaps considering the tumultuous times he navigated. Meditation completes you rise with a newfound clarity, ready to face the demands of the day. The rhythmic clamor of feet hitting dirt as your fellow trainees assemble fills the air, a reminder that this journey is shared, a collective forging of spirit and body. This is a tribute to epochs past where camaraderie was as vital as individual valor. The first rays of dawn now fully illuminate the training grounds, casting long shadows that stretch behind you like ghostly soldiers mustering on some ancient battlefield. Your heart quickens its pace, syncing with the sounds of intense physical training that surrounds you. Push-ups, sit-ups, sprints. The rigor here leaves no room for hesitation, each motion a tribute to centuries of warriors who learned to push beyond their limits. Unusual as it sounds, historians still debate whether certain Roman training methods, such as their grueling armor runs, were more psychological than physical in building military might. But as you run now, the armor of your own will forms grown stronger with each disciplined breath. Yet it's not all sweat and quiveringly taut muscles. There's a moment of shared laughter born from a stumbled pace or a misstep as you all negotiate the obstacle course. It's a fleeting glimpse of humanity amidst the seriousness, a reminder that you are all learning, growing, enduring together. After the physical array, your day transitions into a more cerebral endeavor, understanding the echoes of your country's footsteps through time. An old instructor, with a voice like gravel, tells tales of revolutions and reforms of heroes and human errors. You learn something unexpected today. During the War of 1812, the Capitol building was set ablaze by the British, a reflection of conflict's unpredictable tinderbox. This particular piece of history is debated if it really shifted the war's momentum, a shadowy thread in the tapestry of your nation's past. As the sun wraps its warm arms around the field, you marinate in the richness of these stories. They are your national inheritance. And as you absorb them, you feel a part of the great lineage that has walked this land before you. And so, as the day draws to an end, you find yourself by the old tree again, its leaves whispering ancient songs in the wind as you settle into a soft, cool-down meditation. Your body hums with fatigue, but your spirit dances lightly, fortified by the day's lessons. You wonder about the soldiers before you, if they too felt this blend of anticipation and exhaustion, this mix of history's weight and their own place within it. In this moment, you delve into a deeper reflection, considering how each piece of history, each victory, each loss has been paved by countless individuals with stories of their own. Their spirits, like stars in a vast night sky, guide you toward your own journey's purpose. You feel a connection, tenuous but tangible, to these historical spirits who once stood where you are now. Finally, with the daylight waning, the field starts to fall silent, much like the calm after a storm's passage. There, amid that quiet hush, you too begin winding down, letting the day's energy softly dissipate, like waves retreating from a sandy shore. You notice as you rise to leave that the old tree seems to nod approvingly, its branches swaying gently against the twilight breeze. You realize this ancient sentinel, much like you, witnesses the past stretching into the present, standing vigil over the very ground where stories forever intertwine. With one last deep breath, your body relaxed and spirit gently at ease, you begin the walk back, every step a lullaby into rest. The path is lit by the soft silver light of the moon, guiding you safely, calmly forward. Each stride whispers a thank you to the earth beneath, to the heroes of yore, to yourself, for this day now finished. As you close your eyes to drift into sleep, dreamscapes of yesteryear weave around you, inviting you to rest. Time slows, the shadows fade, and in the stillness of your room you find peace, nestled warmly into the soft embrace of slumber. Feel the gentle assurance that tomorrow will bring another chance to learn, to grow, to connect with the echoes of the past in your unique journey. Sleep now as the world around you softly dims, and let the tranquility of time cradle you into dreams. You stroll through a landscape where the air is thick with the whispers of history, calling out to you from generations past. Picture a night under a canopy of stars that seems to stretch infinitely, just like the tales of bravery that echo through time. You feel the cool breeze brush your skin, much like the wings of history softly grazing your awareness. It is a night intended for reflection, a perfect backdrop to explore the resilience and sacrifice that have marked the journey of countless Israelis. These are stories preserved in poetry and intonations of folk memory, echoing the persistent heartbeat of a nation that refuses to forget. You find yourself stepping into the time-worn corridors of history, where soldiers and citizens alike have etched their courage into the very soil. These are people who have faced the relentless trials of war and terrorism, each time standing up with a resolve that seems as unyielding as the ancient stones of Jerusalem itself. Here, under the sky that has witnessed centuries of struggle and triumph, you come to understand the power of perseverance. There's a recurring melody in the air, perhaps the echoes of David's ancient psalms or modern ballads that weave narratives of loss and hope. Such is the fabric of Israeli folk memory threads of poetry, interlaced with the stark realities of conflict, forming a tapestry that's woven from shared tears and laughter. As you walk along this poetic path, consider the Six-Day War, a conflict that saw a smaller nation standing against much larger forces, akin to the age-old David versus Goliath motif. Historians debate whether it was sheer strategy or a streak of serendipity that led to an unexpected victory. Whatever the cause, the courage displayed in those tense days has become a cherished part of collective memory, recounted in songs hummed softly at twilight, or etched in verses that capture the collective sigh of relief and the stark awareness of what was gambled and won. But courage is not only displayed in well-known battles or grand historical chapters. Often it's in the quieter heroism of those who lead ordinary lives in extraordinary circumstances, their bravery slipping into bedtime stories told to eager young listeners. Imagine your grandmother's voice steady and soothing as she recounts tales of neighbors who turned into unlikely protectors during a sudden attack, or perhaps a friendly shopkeeper who hid families in his cellar, his actions never recorded in history books, but preserved in the tender smiles of grateful survivors. These stories, while perhaps lacking the grandeur of headline heroes, breathe life into history's expansive narrative. Folk memory, after all, is not just about preserving events, but about celebrating lives interwoven with courage like threads that hold the entire fabric of a flag aloft. As your mind drifts through these narratives, you might picture the kibbutzim, small communal farms, where Israelis banded together side by side to cultivate both the land and a sense of unwavering community amidst adversity. In simple acts of labor, they found strength and solidarity, a testament to the power of teamwork, where every hand contributes to the survival and growth of the whole. The kibbutzim, with their tales of shared purpose and camaraderie, are as epic in their own way as any famous battle. Just as the stories can bring you closer to the people of the past, they also invite a deeper reflection on the present. Consider how present-day poets and writers draw upon these rich tapestries of memory, leading you to ponder how much of who we are today is shaped by echoes from the past stories, told by firelight or sung amid fields of the agricultural heartlands. The night deepens, and with it your journey through the layers of history does as well. You start to notice how each story holds a piece of a larger puzzle. These narratives, though wrapped in the allure of bedtime tales, offer a formidable insight into the values that have withstood the tests of time. Through the lullabies of history, you can almost hear the rhythmic words of prayers that have adorned many a Shabbat, their cadences weaving another layer into this historical quilt. Underneath this quilt, cozy and reassured, your thoughts start to weave themselves together. You find comfort in the resilience of those who came before, and maybe a part of you realizes that courage is timeless. Courage lies as much in the grand acts of defiance as it does in the whispered promises of a parent rocking their child to sleep amid uncertainty. These stories ensure that the fires of memory remain unextinguished, lighting the way through darkened paths. As the stars begin to fade against the encroaching dawn, you feel a sense of peace mingled with reverence. Here, within the folds of history and poetry, you find a quiet place, a gentle reminder that while the world may be vast and the events chronicled, often daunting the stories of sacrifice and bravery, offer a lighthouse guiding the ship of the present through the seas of time. With every lullaby of history sung and every story shared, you settle more deeply into the comfort of the timeless journey. Your feet find themselves gently stepping over rocky terrain, the kind that tickles your imagination and reminds you of tales long written on the stones. As you wander across this land, you marvel at the sheer diversity that lies before you. To the west, the Mediterranean Sea stretches with its deep blue vastness, whispering stories of ancient mariners brave enough to face its rolling waves. The sea's salty breeze brushes against your skin as if to silently insist on its timeless presence. Turning your gaze inland, the landscape shifts dramatically. Deserts such as the Negev unfold like sandy quilts, spread calmly under the vast sky. The world here speaks in breezes that dance over dunes, sculpting them anew each day, a silent artist at work. And though this desert may appear desolate, it's a place where life has whispered and thrived over millennia. Historians still debate whether the Bedouins of old were masters of survival or mere products of their harsh surroundings. In stark contrast, the mountains rise like ancient sentinels. The Judean hills cradle tales as old as time, offering a rugged embrace to those willing to wander their paths. Myths and legends echo in their shadows, and as you trek higher, you feel as though you're a part of a narrative stretched far beyond the confines of your imagination. Deep valleys carve through these landscapes, their lushness a testament to the tenacity of life. You step lightly through verdant trails, the cries of unseen birds punctuating the air as your guide. The journey is one of contrasts, where the fertile land hugs the dry, each whispering secrets of cycles long past. Yet this magnificent landscape is not without its challenges. Israel's beauty is tempered by nature's might. Droughts periodically remind all who dwell here of their reliance on precious water. As the seasons shift and the earth sighs, water becomes both a gift and a challenge, a dance between abundance and scarcity that has played out for generations. And then there are the earthquakes, the groan of tectonic plates that lie beneath your feet is a reminder of the world's restless nature. It's a humbling thought that despite human efforts to tame and build the earth, can shake it all off like a gentle giant disturbed from a slumber. Climate change with its unpredictable moods adds another layer of complexity. Shifts in weather patterns and rising temperatures pose silent questions to those whose lives and stories are etched across these lands. Will the next generation inherit the land as we know it, or will they write new chapters on landscapes altered by change? As you ponder these questions, take solace in the resilience observed here. Just as the camel navigates the desert sands, adapting with each step to a harsh environment, so too do the people, and the land find ways to thrive under constantly shifting skies. It's a testament to the enduring spirit woven into the very fabric of this place. With these thoughts, your eyes close gently, as if the very land shares its deep breath of existence with you. In this moment, tension fades like the last light of a sunset, and the weight of historical wonder settles comfortably, ensuring your dreams are filled with the beauty of Israel's landscapes. You drift off your heart softly, echoing the whispers of seas and sands, mountains, and valleys, until the next chapter of your journey draws you in once again. In this dimly lit room, you find yourself enveloped by the soothing sounds of wind chimes outside the window. As you relax deeper into your pillow, you're transported back to an ancient world where traditional Jewish healing practices intermingle with today's cutting-edge medical research. Imagine yourself walking the narrow streets of an old town, the air thick with the aroma of herbs and spices wafting from open stalls. Here you find a quaint little shop, its door ajar, inviting you to step inside. As you do, your mind drifts to ancient times when healers were revered, their knowledge of plants and the human body seemingly mystical. One particular remedy catches your eye as an old merchant talks enthusiastically about the use of honey in traditional Jewish medicine. Honey, with its antibacterial properties, was highly valued for wounds and illnesses, and its sweetness might even play tricks on the harsh realities of infections. Imagine trying to scrape by without antibiotics and relying solely on nature's bounty. You probably won't survive this rite. Yet these remedies have endured, weaving their way even into the most modern practices. It's fascinating to consider that scientists today are investigating honey's medicinal properties with renewed interest, conducting experiments worthy of any top-tier laboratory to understand the science behind the ancient belief that honey can help heal. You lean in closer, inspecting the powdered herbs and jars of mysterious golden liquid. Historians still debate whether honey was the most potent of early medicines, or if its charm lay more in the sweet balm it offered people's spirits. Nevertheless, you can't deny its allure. A gentle breeze sways the hanging herbs overhead, and you notice a hand-bound book on a nearby shelf. It's filled with remedies and rituals passed down through generations like a mystical, alchemical text. You learn that Jewish healing practices often intermingle prayer and intention with the notion that the mind and soul play harmoniously with the body's healing process. Even now, this ancient wisdom informs how some approach health and wellness, a gentle reminder not to ignore the unseen threads that connect mind and body. Your thoughts wander to how technology has revolutionized our understanding of healing. Imagine the marvel of discovering the code of life, the genome, and how today's scientists see it like modern-day sages, unraveling secrets of the human body with computers and data. They're crafting new treatments that sound like magic, blending age-old remedies with fresh discoveries. Just as your fascination grows, you're left pondering the contrast of clinking glass beakers to the soft call of a shofar, a symbol of both, a call to battle and healing of the community. The night's journey takes you through an arcane world of learned scholars and practitioners with hands steeped in tinctures and eyes ever on the latest findings of medical journals. You envision a world where these two spaces coexist, challenging each other to create a landscape where something old, something new bends toward benevolence. It's comforting, even pleasant to think we'll keep evolving like ancient song lines, redrawn with modern notes. You step back out into the evening air, your mind drawing spirals through time as you wonder how our sense of health and healing will shape and be shaped by the stories we weave together, stories that find us all here, nestled in tales of honeyed promises and coded dreams. The moon peeks through clouds, a silvery lantern, guiding this gentle exploration of the connection between child's play and scholar's laboratory. As you journey back to your restful space, ideas swirl like leaves in the autumn wind, a reminder that both tradition and innovation have their place in our lives, a dance of knowledge that's far from over. Relax into this tapestry, woven with threads of tradition and curiosity, and let your thoughts drift calmly, comfortably, and confidently into the enveloping night. As you wander through the lively streets of Jerusalem, each step feels like a gentle reminder of stories told through countless generations. You find yourself curiously observing the intricate patterns of everyday life, the customs that are woven into the fabric of Israeli society. There's something captivating about the air itself, perhaps. It's the mingling scent of freshly baked challah bread and the distant, faintly sweet aroma of desert blooms. This is a land where time seems to hold its breath, effortlessly bridging the ancient with the modern. Your path leads you to catch sight of the tallit, a prayer shawl worn for spiritual connection. Its significance is born from biblical texts, with the fringes or tzitzit representing the commandments. As you observe the tallit draped reverently over the shoulders of a man deep in prayer, you might wonder about its history. Did you know that stripes on a tallit have evolved over centuries, with variations reflecting different cultural traditions? Perhaps it's amusing to think of such garments as timeless fashion choices, though historians still debate whether early versions looked anything like what you see today. Not far from your thoughts, the mezuzah makes its subtle presence felt. These small cylindrical cases affixed to doorposts house sacred parchment inscribed with verses from the Torah. You notice one as you pass by a family home, courageously perched in its rightful place, a guardian and a reminder wrapped into one. Some mezuzot are artistically adorned with colorful designs, while others maintain a humble simplicity, each unique piece a personal testament to faith and heritage. One might assume they're merely decorative, yet legends float around hinting at mystical protection that mezuzot provide to dwellings and their inhabitants. The certainty of such tales might elude us, but you start to appreciate how every touch upon these objects connects past to present in some ineffable way. Continuing onward, your imagination is captured by thoughts of the Hanukkah festival. The festival of lights commemorated with the bright glow of the menorah is more than an occasion for golden fried treats and spinning dreidels. It's a testament to tenacity, recalling the oil that miraculously burned for 8 days when there was only enough for one, a narrative echoing resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. Even today, who can resist the hypnotic dance of candle flame, each flicker a gentle nod to enduring hope. As you stroll, perhaps the notion of celebrating only 8 days seems quaint, especially in our demanding world, where staying unplugged for that long, you probably won't survive. This is a genuine concern. Yet Hanukkah stands as a gentle reminder of the power of patience and belief. Historians still debate the exact origins of some Hanukkah customs. The dreidel game, for instance, might originally have been a much simpler pastime, evolving only over centuries into the enthusiastic spinning we know today. Despite uncertainties, each spin an emerging Hebrew letter prompts whispers of stories untold. Each symbol, each gesture within Israeli life is a thread in this intricate tapestry, a tapestry that you are now part of, if only in passing. You feel the pull of these customs, their richness, their layered stories. Perhaps you'll meet a local, willing to share a story. Or maybe you'll simply observe, letting the unspoken lore seep into your consciousness. Either way, tonight you're enveloped by this cultural mosaic, each piece as vibrant and significant as the next. And as this narrative lightly weaves through the fabric of your thoughts, you feel your own story gently nestling into the myriad others, a single note in a broader symphony that resonates softly, persistently in the hush of the Israeli night. From the cobblestone streets of Jerusalem, where ancient stones whisper old tales, you find yourself entranced by the vivid symphony of colors and shapes in Israeli visual arts. The art here is a reflection of a land both timeless and new, bridging ancient traditions with cutting-edge contemporary expressions. As you walk through the galleries, you notice the warmth of the sunlight streaming and casting shadows that dance on the walls as if joining the artworks in their silent stories. You can't help but feel a sense of complexity, much like the layers of history that make up this fascinating place. Artists in Israel are known for drawing deep inspiration from Jewish themes, weaving narratives that traverse centuries, yet remain sharply relevant in modern thought. You find yourself admiring a particularly evocative piece that echoes the striking colors and bold lines of a Chagall painting. Yet there's something new and rebellious about it, a modern twist that both surprises and challenges you. Historians aren't quite in agreement when it comes to categorizing what makes Israeli art distinctly Israeli. Some say it's the cultural mosaic, a colorful patchwork of influences from around the world, like an artist's paint palette of global experiences, while others argue it might be the resilience and hope that seem to pervade every brushstroke and clay contour. You ponder this as you move through the space, delighted by the intricate ceramics that hark back to ancient traditions, yet possess a fresh vitality that's hard to resist. There's a painting nearby whose striking hues are reminiscent of the sun's glow over the Judean desert, a palette only nature could inspire. It whispers secrets of the land in vibrant reds and soft ochres. The artist has captured something essential, something eternally tied to this place. Was it the influence of Jerusalem with its ancient walls and sacred atmosphere that spurred this creation? Or perhaps it was the stories passed down through generations, stories that have been sung, painted, and lived through both joy and adversity. And here's a fun little twist. Amidst all these sophisticated pieces, you chuckle at a painting of a goat with comically oversized ears, reminiscent of those woolly creatures you once heard about, believed to have kept ancient settlers warm with their luscious coats. It's as if the artist wanted to remind viewers that art also embraces the playful and the whimsical, a gentle poke at both history and art lovers alike. You're led to another section where glass works reflect fragments of light, creating a transient kaleidoscopic experience. There's something almost magical about it, like a piece has come alive just for you, resonating with the heartbeat of Jerusalem, a city where time layers upon itself in miraculous fashion. You trace your fingers over the smooth glass surface, careful not to disturb the delicate structure, and you imagine the skill and precision involved, which is no less than that. Involved in ancient stained glass windows of the city's old synagogues. One display captivates you with its mixed media construction, a jumble of old photograph snippets of Hebrew text, and abstract splashes of paint. It speaks volumes about memory and identity, an ever-shifting narrative, much like the ebb and flow of life itself. You think to yourself, could this be a reflection of the artist's own journey through Israel's complex tapestry of cultures and histories? With each turn in the gallery, you're enveloped in the gentle murmur of eclectic stories. A subtle undercurrent of something bigger than yourself, perhaps. You continue gliding through these beautiful expressions, realizing how Israeli visual arts are a testament to both survival and innovation. Just like an ongoing conversation with the past, they seem to invite questions without necessarily providing definitive answers. Stories still in the process of being told, much like the art you now find yourself immersed in. As your journey continues, the radiant colors and bold textures leave a vivid imprint in your mind. The art becomes more than a visual spectacle. It's a calming lull before sleep, a soft drift into a dream space where borders blur and imagination reigns. It reassures you that every mark, every design, is a trace of humanity's desire to connect, express, and transcend time itself. And so, as you walk back towards the world's sturdier reality, you carry these tales with you, feeling a little more a part of that timeless dialogue. As you journey through the vibrant tapestry of modern Israel, you find yourself wandering among the bustling streets and sunlit landscapes where the roots of history and the fruits of innovation meet. The salty breeze from the Mediterranean whispers secrets of bygone eras as you walk through Tel Aviv, a city that stands as a testament to resilience and renewal. Here, each alley and avenue seems to hum with stories of a nation reimagined. Picture yourself strolling through the tranquil paths of an ancient olive grove, its gnarled trees standing as silent witnesses to the passage of millennia. These trees, some of which have stood since biblical times, are living reminders of a land that has always known how to adapt and endure. You can almost hear the echoes of scribes and poets who once sat under these very boughs, contemplating the mysteries of the world just as you are now. As evening drapes its gentle veil over the city, lights begin to twinkle, recalling a time when Judah's kings kindled sacred flames on the temple altar. You pass by the old city walls of Jerusalem, their stones etched with memories and stories that stretch back to King Solomon. The dome of the rock glistens under the moonlight, a symbol of faith heritage and the complex tapestry woven into the history of this land. Historians still debate whether King Herod's architectural feats were driven by a quest for glory or sheer architectural genius. Yet as you meander through the remnants of his grand palaces, it's clear that his ambition left an indelible mark on the landscape. Perhaps there is an unanswered question in all great undertakings, a secret motivation that drives extraordinary achievements. Your journey leads you south to the Negev desert, where long ago intrepid traders navigated the harsh landscape along the incense route, bringing rare spices and treasures from the east to the Mediterranean shores. Picture these camel trains swaying under the relentless sun, their caravan bells jangling, a relentless perseverance mirrored in the very people who cultivated this land. In contrast, you weave your way up to Haifa, where pioneers once toiled to turn swampy marshlands into thriving orchards. This feeling of new beginnings is captured perfectly in the technology sector today, buzzing with innovations from startups that surprise with their groundbreaking advances, just like the goat fat trick you heard about earlier. Within these historical shadows and modern lights, you sense a palpable thread of continuity, a remarkable testament to a people's tenacity despite the constant push and pull of time. You pause by the Technicolor graffiti murals that adorn urban walls, noticing how art is used to voice both protest and peace, innovation and heritage. It is a creative dialogue, a confrontation, and comfort spanning generations and time. As you rest beneath a clear desert sky, the stories coalesce into a vision of tomorrow. Israel, a place where memory and innovation walk hand in hand, each informed by a deep-rooted past and a daring hope for the future. You peer upwards, basking in the celestial display, a reminder of a world much larger and more mysterious than you can comprehend. The stars glisten, painting constellations that were studied by ancient astronomers and dreamers like you. These luminous guides have helped navigate sailors and shepherds alike, their celestial patterns offering hope and direction through familiar nights and uncharted paths. As the night sky unfurls its arms around you, imagine being lulled by the gentle sounds of a country that never truly sleeps, the gentle hum of conversations in cafes, the distant melody of a street musician, the rustle of the wind through the olive trees, all singing the song of a vibrant nation, alive with its own unique syncopation. This modern Israeli narrative is a quilt of many hues, woven together with threads of struggle and celebration, ancient scripts, and digital codes, where every stone, every voice adds its own verse to the nation's ongoing tale. Let yourself be carried, surrendered to the soothing rhythm of history and progress, much like the rhythm of waves curling onto the shores of Tel Aviv. As you close your eyes, there's comfort in knowing that the journey continues anew each day, just as it has for centuries. A journey etched both in memory and in the imaginations of those who dare to dream. With every breath, you feel the weight of history gently lift, leaving only a tranquil awareness of the present moment, a moment suspended between the starlight above and the firm earth below, cradling you softly as you drift into a gentle, restorative sleep. The notion of continuity and resilience cradles you as you rest, buoyed by the stories of the past and the dreams of what's yet to come. The warm glow of the Israeli sun seems to have a distinct way of clinging to the Jerusalem stone under your feet, as if the very earth remembers each step taken along its paths. This evening carries a gentle breeze whispering tales of ancient times and vibrant cultures. You find yourself wandering through the bustling alleyways of a local market known as a shuk. The air is heady with aromatic spices roasting coffee, and the laughter of vendors sharing stories over freshly baked pita. Israel's cuisine beckons you with its rich tapestry of flavors, each bite a testament to history, tradition, and the lands that cradle the birthplace of many broad culinary strokes. As you take a moment to pause, a vendor offers you a taste of a freshly fried falafel, golden, crunchy, irresistible. Did you know falafel is often claimed by multiple cultures as their own? Even historians toss and turn at night, unsure if we can truly pin down its origins. Some believe the dish dates back to ancient Egypt, while others argue it was first crafted within the lands of the Levant. You move on, savoring the spice of the falafel, mingling with the fresh, herbaceous notes of parsley and mint that dance across your palate. It's hard to argue with the fact that falafel, in its humble majesty, has empowered street food across the globe. You smile to yourself, recalling how even a simple dish like this holds the power to bridge worlds, much like Israel itself, a tapestry of history and modern culture. Near the market's edge, the distinct sound of shakshuka fills the air. This is a dish that boldly proclaims its love for tomatoes and eggs, ceremonial in the way these ingredients meld together. Shakshuka's rich tomato base simmers with vibrant spices, transforming into a kind of warm, red oasis for gently poached eggs. It's a dish that feels both comforting and spirited, telling stories of North African origins and weaving them through the fabric of Middle Eastern kitchens. As you stand there, a local vendor reaches out with a spoonful of this divine blend, its aroma overtaking your senses. The warmth of the dish mirrors the warmth of the people surrounding you, as laughter bubbles up from customers and workers alike, sharing in this communal taste of something larger than themselves. Here, the present and past coexist harmoniously, creating something more profound than just a delicious breakfast or dinner, a reminder of shared humanity through food. Underneath the distant olive trees, thoughts of the upcoming Sabbath begin to draw attention. The Sabbath Shabbat is more than a mere weekly event. Its traditions ground families, offering a comforting cadence to life. Meals prepared for this sacred time are steeped in love and observance, from golden loaves of braided challah to the slow-cooked delights of cholent, a stew that ebbs and flows with flavors as varied as the regions it hails from. You hear that cholent may have traveled with Ashkenazi Jews through Europe, and yet it aligns so seamlessly with the culinary traditions of Sephardic Jews in the Mediterranean. This scholars agree on, though, the exact journey remains a mystery. Surprising details fold seamlessly into the fabric of these meals. You learn that the preparation of these timeless dishes isn't merely an exercise in culinary skill. It's a collective embrace of traditions passed through generations, like precious heirlooms. Each bite maintains a connection to those who came before, ensuring stories continue to be told and retold, carrying forward the hopes, dreams, and struggles of countless cooks who found solace and celebration within their kitchens. Holiday meals, too, are a significant corner of this national culinary experience. The food speaks vibrantly during Rosh Hashanah's sweet New Year offerings, such as honey-drizzled cakes and juicy pomegranate seeds. The bitter herbs and carousel of Passover, contrasting yet complementary, symbolize hardship transformed into joy, speaking softly of an enduring spirit. On the subject of origins, academic uncertainty comes into play once more, as the fine line between historical accuracy and cultural memory is walked with grace. You savor each story, each taste, weaving them into your journey like an intricate tapestry. Israel's cuisine is a bridge across time, its ingredients sourced from lands near and far, much like the melting pot of its people. As night falls gently around you, the market's lively chatter gradually subsides, replaced by the softer murmurs of night. Your heart is full, much like those who have wandered this path, before you immersed in the profound and delightful richness of Israel's culinary legacy. And now, with the weight of history and the lightness of shared meals, you wander back under the stars, feeling both grounded and uplifted by the stories you've gathered, a stitched quilt of flavors and memories to carry with you wherever your journey may lead next. You find yourself gently waking in the soft glow of the morning sun, streaming through large windows, casting warm patterns on the walls. You're wandering through a typical Israeli home, noticing how each room is perfectly bathed in natural light. Curious, you explore further, letting your fingers brush against the cool, textured walls. These homes, you realize, are compact, yet ingeniously designed spaces, interlock like pieces of a puzzle, each area used wisely, a testament to the country's history of resourcefulness. As you make your way to the kitchen, you remember hearing that Israeli families often opt for functional, minimalist styles. It's a necessity born from the modern adaptation to smaller living spaces prevalent in the bustling cities. Despite their size, these homes offer warmth and a sense of openness, as if the outside is gently spilling in, inviting nature to be a part of your daily routine. The soft ambient light filters through the home and leads you into a cozy living area. Here, you notice a comfortable seating arrangement centered around a low coffee table, welcoming conversations and laughter. It's easy to picture friends and family gathering here, sharing stories and meals, a scene that's both vibrant and serene. The connection among family members seems to be as cleverly integrated as the home design itself. Historically, the architecture here has often included thick stone walls. These are brilliantly cool in the summer, yet manage to hold warmth in the chill of winter. You think back to tales of ancient settlers. Historians still debate whether their architectural techniques directly influence the contemporary Israeli style. But the echoes of tradition are unmistakable. Your eye catches the lush greenery just outside on the patio. The gardens are small, often cradled in pots or creeping along walls, yet they flourish with life. You step outside immediately, immersed in a spectrum of colors, vibrant flowers competing with aromatic herbs. It's almost as if this vibrant life force breathes an energy into the home, reinforcing the connection to the earth. Lunchtime draws near, and the concept of a midday siesta wafts through your mind like the gentle sea breeze. Israelis, particularly during the sweltering summer months, embrace this time-honored tradition. Siestas are perfect for escaping the peak afternoon heat, allowing families to rest and recharge, often indulging in cool, quiet respite amidst the day's activities. It's unusual to think of taking this break as part of one's culture, yet here it fits perfectly within the rhythm of life. You're inevitably drawn back inside by the enticing aroma of freshly baked bread, a staple in the Israeli household. This juxtaposition of old and new tickles your fancy. The modern lifestyle seamlessly integrates ancient customs, crafting an everyday experience that holds surprises around each corner, yet warmly envelops you in shared human connections. Some say Israeli homes are like designed puzzles for the way they interleave life, and light both historically vibrant and firmly grounded in contemporary realities. These homes aren't just structures. They're thoughtfully crafted stories, reflecting a lively tapestry of culture and cooperation. Just like the way the thick walls protect from harsh temperatures, they also nurture tight-knit family bonds. As you settle into a cozy nook, a book in hand, and the gentle hum of a distant fan lulling you into calmness, you can't help but smile. The connection between people and places, the delightful fusion of past and present. There's something endearing and comforting about this little slice of life. And while you cozy deeper into this moment, the narrative continues seamlessly weaving tales of history, tradition, and an enduring sense of community, inviting you to dwell a little longer in this serene, sun-dappled environment. Soft whispers of fabric swirl around you as you stand in a bustling market, the air perfumed with the scent of spices and age-old tales. Familiar patterns of life dance upon the tapestry of this vibrant setting, each thread tied to stories you're eager to hear. As you wander through the market, your eyes catch a glimpse of something woven into the very fabric of tradition. The kippah, a small round cap worn by Jewish men, catches the sunlight with its simple yet profound design. You probably won't survive this journey without marveling at its symbolic humility. Historians suggest that the tradition dates back to ancient times, offering a way to show respect to a higher power. You brush your fingers against its textured surface, wondering if this humble piece of cloth really embodies centuries' worth of reverence and faith. Beside the kippot hang talatot, the Jewish prayer shawls draped like swatches of sky. White fabric woven with blue or black stripes, tassels dangling to and fro, each tallit resonates with the whispers of prayers enfolded within its embrace. There are tales of tzitzit, the fringes tied with sacred knots, a visual representation laden with 613 commandments, as per ancient texts. You imagine draping one over your shoulders, the weight, not just of fabric, but of generations. Women pass by wrapped in vibrant scarves. These garments, more than a nod to modesty, are alive with stories from across the world. Depending on where your eyes rest, the scarf might be a hijab, a tickle, or a simple head covering. Each version dances with a unique rhythm of faith and cultural narrative, a tender reminder of beauty, both hidden and revealed, just as layered as the stories they conceal. And look there, a garment distinctly colored, an emblem of identity, threading through cultures. indigenous garments from bright African dashikis swaying in the wind to the intricate embroidery of an Indian sari's pallu cascading like a waterfall. Glimpses of the world perfectly stitched in color and form testaments of communities that wear their heart on their sleeves literally. Amidst the delightful chaos of fabric and folklore, your mind pauses on a curious notion that seems to haunt the stitches of this quaint tale. The origins of some symbols, like the Star of David adorning the kippah, or the intricate designs on a serene, are still up for debate among historians. It's a gentle puzzle to ponder as you align yourself with the history and mystery these garments enfold. With a lift of the evening breeze, your journey deepens past simple cloth and weaves into what these pieces really symbolize. Each garment becomes a guide, a storyteller, whispering to your senses tales older than time. You might find yourself asking, what stories does the fabric you wear share about you? You find yourself nestled in a soft quilt, the gentle hum of a fan providing a soothing lull in the background. The window slightly ajar lets in a crisp evening breeze, and you can hear the distant rustle of golden leaves clinging to the trees. Tonight, the gentle rhythm of your heart resonates with the age-old wisdom of the Hebrew calendar, guiding you through the tangle of history and tradition that shape the days of Yom Kippur to Sukkot. Imagine, if you will, the solemnity of Yom Kippur, a day dedicated to reflection and atonement. It's the holiest day of the Jewish year, a time when people pause from their routine to contemplate their actions and seek forgiveness. As you walk through the quiet streets painted with the soft glow of early dawn, there's a sense of calm purpose that echoes through the corridors of time. Yom Kippur is a fast day, and you probably won't survive this in the literal sense, but worry not. It's all about spiritual sustenance here. The Hebrew calendar is fascinatingly lunar-based, with months beginning with the new moon. Yet every few years they insert an extra month to ensure that the festivals align with their proper seasons, a brilliant leap of astronomical faith that historians still debate for its accuracy and origins. As you fast, this dance with time becomes more apparent as you count the hours to the end of Yom Kippur at sunset. Your mind drifts to stories of times past, when entire communities came together in synagogues, the sound of the shofar, a ram's horn piercing the air at the conclusion of the fast. This act, while jarring, signals renewal, a new lease on life. With the sun setting, your senses awaken to the world anew, just like nature does after a slumbering winter. The transition is seamless, and before you know it, the festivities of Sukkot are upon you. The transition signifies moving from introspection to celebration, capturing the essence of the agricultural bounty of ancient times. During Sukkot, you find yourself gathering materials to construct a sukkah, a temporary hut, reminiscent of those used by the Israelites in the biblical wilderness. It's a cozy structure under the stars, designed with branches that let in the view of the twinkling night sky. The academic uncertainty of whether ancient Jews had the same view notwithstanding. You're part of a long-standing tradition of hospitality and community. Over the next few days, meals in the sukkah resonate with laughter, storytelling, and the rustle of palm branches. A light-hearted moment strikes you. Those palm branches are part of the lulav waved along with the etrog, a citrus fruit in 6 directions, during prayers symbolically gathering divine blessings from all corners of the world. The rhythm of these days flows with gentle continuity, intertwining fasting, reflection, and merriment like the braided strands of a challah loaf. Each element of the holidays speaks to a different part of the human experience. The soul-searching of Yom Kippur, paving the way for the joyful interactions of Sukkot. Just like weaving together strands to create strong fabric, each part of the festivals adds depth and dimension to daily life. Even as historians unravel tales from dusty scrolls, debating the exact origins and interpretations of those traditions, their timeless essence remains. They cultivate an appreciation for moments as transient as the sukkah, yet as binding as the shared meals beneath its leafy roof. As you breathe in the calm exhalation of the day and the gentle lull of history, lulls you to rest, you remember that these traditions, as intriguing and complex as they are, ultimately resonate as reminders that every journey is both part of an ancient memory and the promise of a fresh dawn. In this lullaby of reflections and celebrations, the past and present blur into a soft, comforting melody that carries you into the embrace of night. The wonders of life and the soft cadence of time wrap around you like the comforting blanket you've known forever. You are cradled in this moment, safe, cherished, and ready to drift into a peaceful slumber enveloped in whispers of history and the promise of tomorrow.